Hello, Earth signs. This is your Gemini full moon card reading. This is not a microphone, obviously. This is a tourmalated quartz point little guy. So super fun. I like to have my crystals with me. I have this tiny little guy that looks like half a planet Earth. My friend Johnny got him for me. I don't remember where we went. We were hiking somewhere and he got this for me at the gift shop. We didn't find this. You can't find polished rocks like this out in nature. They look more like this. Ooh, sparkly. Okay. Anyway, so Gemini full moon reading for the earth sign. So that is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I'm doing this a little bit different this time. I am going to be using a couple different decks like I normally do, but obviously this is not a post. This is a video because I'm talking and not typing. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you think. I will be using the Osho Zen Tarot deck that I've used before, and I pulled a card from the Wild Offering Oracle, which is one of my favorites. So the Osho Tarot deck is kind of my go-to when I'm reading for other people. So this is going to be a 5-card spread. I'll go through and kind of explain what each card is for, as well as kind of talk you through the message for this full moon. So this card reading kind of centers around an issue. So the issue that you are having is not being able to be in the moment. So, like, where are you? I mean, you're right here, obviously. I mean, I'm right here, but well, you're wherever you are. On your couch, on the toilet, I don't know, whatever. It's your business. But there's an issue with like presence, with being present. And I know this time of year is really hard for people. It can be really stressful because there's all kinds of things that like you have to do, you're supposed to do, making plans, make everybody happy. And that can be really hard. And so this card is letting you know, it's calling you back to really focusing on like moment to moment living, being really present, because when we are not able to be present, we miss things. So like this guy, he is kind of like he's kind of hopping, totally not concerned about this like rainbow river thing that's happening in the background, just kind of living his best life, hopping on the rocks like a little Buddhist Zen guy that he is. But because he's so much in the moment, his presence is kind of not blocking out, but he's not focused on all these things around him, like these buildings, like these different structures. Like there's all kinds of stuff that's kind of going on in the background that he's not concerned with, because his focus right now is moving from rock to rock and not falling in the water. And so how do we apply that to like regular everyday life? This really feels like, to me, it feels like physical. So I don't know if there's like some health stuff coming up, but it feels like body stuff. So when you are getting lost in everything else that's outside and around, a really quick, easy way to tap into presence, to be in the present moment, is to do what the hippy dippy woo woo folks call dropping into your body, which, like, what does that even mean? Like, I'm in my body, I'm here right now. And really the easiest way that you could do that is to just stop and take some deep breaths and just feel what it feels like to breathe. Like when you're breathing, like, do you feel it in your nose? Does it feel cold? Do you feel nothing? Do you feel your belly moving? And like, as you focus on like feeling in your body what these things feel like, there's gonna be other things that you're attention is going to go to, almost like things that you're being called to notice. And that's why I think it might be something like health-wise or physical. And I don't mean like something like really hugely detrimental, like, oh my gosh, my blood pressure is so high. It might be, you know, that you're just sitting here taking your 3 breaths and it's like, what is that? Like, when did that get, how long have I been sore? I need a massage. Or, you know, how long have I been sitting here and like, why does my back hurt? And let me go for a walk. Or even I'm getting like this feeling of, makes me think of like, so I don't like, it's gonna be silly. I don't like wearing like too tight shirts. So like if I wear a t-shirt, well, like whenever I wear a hoodie, I wear a t-shirt under my hoodie because I think it feels weird to just wear a hoodie with nothing under it. And I wore one the other day and it was just like too tight. Like the hoodie was too tight. Maybe I grew, maybe I'm supposed to get taller. I don't know. I'm, you know, not yet 40, so there's still hope that I could get like a little bit taller. But it was just like really kind of tight and uncomfortable, and like that feeling of being constricted and like, oh, I don't like this. Like, it's also kind of the feeling that I get when I have to sit in a meeting that's too long and I don't really want to be there. So to bring it all back, what you might notice when you're doing your deep breathing and you're really kind of trying to practice being present, you might feel some of that stuff. Like it's this feeling of like physical irritability. And I feel like once you notice like what feelings are in your body, that's going to help you to take a look at some things that are not where you want them to be, like that are going on that either you haven't been aware of or you've been trying to avoid. So this moment-to-moment presence, like the issue is that you're not paying attention to like your internal monitoring system, if that makes sense. Because really it feels like that's what the body is. Like when we're called to be present, like it's to be with ourselves. So that is the issue that this card reading is going to revolve around. Excuse me. So the unseen influence that you are not aware of around coming to a place where you're able to be really present is the card for ripeness. And so this is a number 9 card. 9 is the number of completions. Just like fruit, like when fruit is ripe, it's ready to be plucked off the tree. It's all done growing. It's all done maturing. You are in a place where you are ripe for the picking. There's something that you need to be able to like move on to or like move away from, that like you're not aware of because you're not able to just sit with yourself and be present. You're so busy going, doing, thinking, all these, you know, things that you're distracted by, that you're not able to be in the present moment and be with yourself and realize like, oh, this is done. Like I need to move on from something. I need to end something. This lesson is complete. This cycle is complete. This friendship is complete. Yeah. So that's the thing that you can't see yet because you haven't gotten present, but you will. I believe in you. So the external influence that you are aware of with being called to be more present is this little guy slowing down to this little turtle. So, this card is bringing you a message that like, hey, you have to slow down. Like you're going, doing, thinking too much, and you just really need to calm down. Like you need, not calm down, sorry, you need to slow down. Because in that kind of slow time, like you can see like he's kind of coming out of some place, and where he's coming out of, like it's kind of drab looking, you know, and where he's supposed to be going is like all glittery and magical and pretty. And so like the thing that you're aware of is that you need to slow down so that you can move on to, it feels like what you already know you're supposed to be moving on to. I hope that makes sense for you. So the thing that is needed for you to get to the resolution is the inner voice card. So this is equivalent to, if you're familiar with traditional tarot, this is equivalent to the Magician card. So nope. Yes, I'm going to argue with myself. This is not. The Magician is one. So this is equivalent to, sorry, the High Priestess card, card number 2. So what you need to do in order to get to the resolution is to get present with yourself, slow down, and listen to your inner voice. So you have to get still, quiet. I would recommend doing some meditation, journaling, putting away your phone, turning off the TV, just getting quiet. Even if it's just like 2 minutes. I know like sometimes for people it's like it's really, really hard to get quiet, but that inner voice is not loud. Like the really loud voice that we hear all the time is really the ego, which I've heard too. And my favorite way of referring to the ego is like the crazy roommate. If you have heard of Michael Singer and The Untethered Soul, like he talks about it in depth in that book. It's not the most sensitive way to refer to the ego, but you know, that's that loud voice. So that inner voice is very, very quiet, and we need to get quiet and we need to get still in order for it to communicate with us. So I can see like there's this person kind of where their third eye is. There's this little inner person that's got this like huge crown chakra. There's all this stuff coming through. That's our inner voice. Like that's our higher knowing. That's like that crown chakra opening up to let or to receive messages from our higher power, from our intuition, from our higher self, whatever it is you believe, from source, God, source, universe. So what you need to get to the resolution is to get quiet and listen for your inner voice. And it feels like it's not going to make sense. And so if that's the case, just know that happens to me a lot too. So the resolution that you're coming to is, this one's kind of hard. I think you guys are probably not going to like it. The politics card. This card's kind of tricky. But when we look at the card, the biggest part of this card is this, sorry, I can't see where I'm pointing to, is this mask. And so this looks really nefarious, you know, that that there's this person that's kind of hiding, because that's what they're doing. You know, you can see like there's just like a snake. It's a snake holding up the mask. Like there's all kinds of deceit. There's this kind of griminess to it. Even the colors are a little bit grimy, like these shades of green. They're kind of like icky and like pea soup. And then like his face, like look at that used car salesman face, and that he's holding this mask up. So this resolution is kind of twofold. One part is, how are you hiding yourself behind a mask? We all do it. Let's be honest. We all do it. We all put on these masks because that's the way the world works. Nobody wants to see your sadness. Nobody wants to hear about your pain. Blah, blah, blah. But that's not really true. Like when we are able to come to a place where we can be vulnerable even like 5% vulnerable with people that are trustworthy, with people that are safe to hold our vulnerability. That's a big part of it. Can't be vulnerable with everybody because people are shitty. When we find people that are safe enough to hold even that small amount of our vulnerability, and we choose to be vulnerable with them, there is a lot of, there's like a lot of self-love that can come from that, because when we wear a mask, when we've worn it for so long, we forget that it's not who we are. So, like I said, this is twofold. So if you are wearing a mask and there is no one that you're able to be vulnerable with, you are not able to see those people that come in that are nefarious, that are malicious, that are con artists, so to speak, that are kind of those energy vampires, that are showing you like this mask that you want to see. Like you aren't able to see past that mask. It's almost like, gosh, one of my coaches says, if you spot it, you got it, which I'm sure like a lot of other coaches have said. And so it's, the term is just talking about like the things that trigger us. So if I see someone and they're like just super rude to someone else and it bothers me, if I spot it, that means I've got it, and I'm probably not aware that like that rudeness is part of my shadow. So if you're not able to identify the ways that you are wearing a mask, you will not see when other people come up and they have this mask on. So until you can get clear, open, vulnerable with yourself, you cannot see the vulnerability in other people. And so how this might come through is that you find yourself connecting repeatedly to the wrong people. Like you share things with the wrong people. You're vulnerable with the wrong people because you're not aware of the mask you're wearing. So you don't see this guy. You don't see that he has a mask on. Also, it can come up in intimate relationships where like you are so blind to the fact that you wear a mask that you don't see how you're being inauthentic to the people around you. You don't see that you have this wall up. You don't see that you can't connect with them. And you, you might have some problems like connecting with people and it doesn't make sense why they're like, why you're getting the feedback that you're getting. I hope that makes sense. So take off the mask with people that are safe. And even really just having an awareness of how, where, and with who you wear a mask is going to be so hugely pivotal for you. If you can identify like who you wear a mask around and why, that having that awareness is going to cause like a really big shift for you. And so this doesn't mean that you're like that you're a completely fake, inauthentic person. You're not. Like we all wear masks. We all have these kind of protection mechanisms up, but we don't have to have them up with everyone in our lives. So the next card is so good. The Wild Offering Oracle card that I pulled for you guys is self-acceptance. I love it. It says, nothing is more exhausting than endlessly working on yourself. When you offer your whole being fully to love, self-acceptance arises spontaneously. May I rest in our oneness, dear divine. So this is the card, so you can see it. It's so pretty. So that is your Gemini full moon card reading. If you would like a photo of the cards, like feel free to DM me and I can send you photos of the cards. Also, let me know what you thought of the card reading. Did it resonate for you? Was I like way off? Like, do you not have any problems being present? Are you like a Zen master of presence? If that's the case, then maybe, I don't know, maybe there's like a world behind the veil that that only you can see, and you need to enlighten the rest of us. So definitely leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of the reading. I hope you like this different format. And I hope you guys have a lovely day. Bye.